What's up, everybody? Back again for another episode of Matt Chat Live. And I have a jacket on today. Sorry, because like the air conditioning's out and it's 86 degrees up here, and I've got it buttoned up, so I'm good to go. All right, so welcome back to another episode of Matt Chat Live. We've had a blast lately. Last week we talked about the what was it? The Enneagram. I forget what the shape was. We talked about this circle shape with a bunch of lines in it. The Enneagram. That's what it was. I lost the word for a second there. Yeah, thank you very much. And it was a pretty cool show. I got a lot of folks that sent me some messages about that one and enjoyed some of the content. And we'll pick up on that one again here next week. Last week I also talked to you about Matt Chat Palooza, which we launched last week as well. And that is a show of about 8 different guests for 8 different Matt Chat Lives. So you've got a plethora of types of folks and information that is just really amazing. So I hope that you'll have a chance to tune into it and check it out. Oh, there's Rob popped in. He's getting ready to show up here shortly. So it gives us a chance to make sure that everything, give you a chance to figure out what that looks like by going to the Matt Chat Palooza. And as a matter of fact, I've got a page for that called the Matt Chat Palooza page. So you have a chance to check out the Matt Chat Palooza there as well. So that was last week's episode. This week, I'm pretty excited about the show because we've got a couple of great guests today. One is my friend Rob Howes, and we're going to be talking about an idea that he came up with a while back and now is really flying with a lot of different folks taking part in it. It's called Peace Walk 2021. And then my other friend, Steve Kidd, really great guy, good friend of mine you'll enjoy talking to from Thriving Bestsellers. You ever written a book before and it's done nothing? Maybe you had it out there for a while, just kind of collecting dust on the shelves somewhere. Well, how about changing that around? Would you like to go from somebody who's just written a book to somebody who's a bestseller? That's exactly what Steve does. A lot of folks on his under his belt for that. Well, maybe not under his belt. They might be like, let me go, Steve. I don't know if it would be a little bit different. Yeah, he's laughing off camera. You'll see Steve in a minute. So Rob is now getting back up on here online, and I see that he's got some cool stuff. Well, he's got some Barack Obama and Martin Luther King action going on behind him today. But we're going to bring him on here, and I'd like to welcome my friend and the guest to the show today here at Matt Chat Live, Rob Howes. Welcome, Rob. Oh,
What's up, my man? Can you hear me?
There you go. Now I can hear you.
All right, cool. Yeah. What's up, brother?
Welcome to the show. You come flying in on the seat of your pants, right? Jumping in here from one show to the other.
Hey, listen, my seat has wings.
I know what you're saying, brother. It's been one of those days for me too. It's non-stop kind of a day. Well, man, I mean, the folks that know you and know me, they know us, I'm sure, together. So I mean, it's a great opportunity for us to be able to share some information that I think is very important for people to hear and understand exactly what we're talking about when I talk about this thing called Peace Walk 2021. It's a hashtag Peace Walk 2021. We'll talk about websites and places where you can go to be involved out here shortly. But Rob, can you tell us what Peace Walk 2021 is all about, how it came about, why you want to do it? I mean, all that kind of stuff would be great.
Oh, my goodness, man. Yes. Well, myself and Wilton Rogers and Nicole, my wife, and Rachel, we were all talking. And, it's funny. I had this idea a couple years ago to do something like this, but I just didn't really know what to do next. So I kind of, how those ideas kind of sit and they go. Well, Rachel says a few weeks ago, like, we should do a peace walk. And the moment she said that, I was like, shut up. We should. And so Rachel's really the one who inspired us to go.
Shut up.
Yeah,
he said, Rachel, shut up. That's amazing. You heard it right here at Matt Chat Live, folks. This is where we heard it first. Breaking news.
Right. In a funny Seinfeld way, okay? Elaine. In a funny Elaine Seinfeld way, okay? Yeah. That's how that went down.
Oh, shut up, right? Yeah.
But
so what's been happening with this? What's it mean, man? What's going on?
And basically the whole point was being able to walk for what you stand for. So we have people, they walk for cancer, they walk for kids, they walk for diabetes, they walk for sex trafficking, and they walk for social justice, they walk for peace and grace. People are always walking for stuff. Well, the beautiful thing about the internet is we can walk together, collectively, a collective unified force. And so what happens when everyone works together collectively? Well, there's a thing called energy. And there's a certain thing called a connectivity and interconnectivity. And when we do this, humanity rises. It's not a fable. It's not singing kumbaya. This is not falsehood. This is real talk. This is not law of attraction. It's the law of action. And when
Yes.
people give, there's certain things that happen. When you give, you create this thing called a dose, DOSE, a dose of happiness. You release a dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. They all get released in these neurochemicals that make you say, hey, that felt good. Do that again. And then you do it again. And before you know it, you're doing it, and the person you did it to, they feel good. The people who watch you do that thing, they feel good. Everyone starts to feel good. And so a peace walk allows for us to share our hearts, share our minds, share our journey, and share what we're walking for to come in alignment, man. We got people walking for all kind of things. The lady lost her, man, goodness gracious. She lost her parents, both of them to cancer. She's in Africa. She's walking. And she lost both of her parents to cancer. And her husband, cancer. But he battled it. He came back, but it was tough. And she's walking, man, and she's in the streets of freaking Africa. I'm like, man, this is so cool. Like,
yeah.
Point is, inspire everybody. You know, share your heart and connect the hearts, and that's how we do it.
Yeah, no, that's a huge thing. So, all right, so now you got people that are all pumped up and excited and happy and feeling good. What can we do to really see this as a movement more than just a moment?
Beautiful, man, because I love that, because moments are great, but moments that can turn into movements can have sustainability and really create impact. And so the one thing we did was we created a page on LinkedIn. We said, first of all, everybody, well, first of all, I created a page, okay, and I put it up. We had a bunch of videos come in. It was simple as this: make a 60-second video, walk in, you say what you're walking for, post it, hashtag Peace Walk 2021, done. So that's how you do it. But then somebody like Matt Crump sees it. He's like, hey, Rob, man, I got these ideas, man. Listen here. We can do something, man. We can make a repository on YouTube. We can create we can create a website. We can make sure this thing lasts forever. And you just came out with all these different ideas. And so basically now what Peace Walk 2021 is, it's everywhere. It's on Facebook. It's on LinkedIn. It's on YouTube. You can basically just contribute by walking. 60 seconds. Say what you're walking for. Share the video. Hashtag Peace Walk 2021. We out.
Yeah. Well, and like you just mentioned on YouTube, so we've got playlists. So we've got Peace Walk 2021, and the blank ones that are waiting are Peace Walk 2022, 2023, 24, and so on. And we have an opportunity to continue to add to that growth and hopefully make it what it should be, right? A powerful movement for people. And what a great opportunity. And again, what it comes down to is it's not about money or fame or anything else. It's just an opportunity for people to come together and share their hearts and say something, I don't know, good, you know?
Yeah. Come on, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, you know, the power of love, man. The power of love. We really don't understand it. You know, a lot of guys are definitely scared of the word, you know, but love is the thing that everybody needs and everybody wants. And if everyone can focus on generating that, they'll get more of it. Let's say it again. Love is something everybody wants and everybody needs. But if individuals could focus on generating that, they would get it. That's just the way it is. And so it's the law of nature. And so it's a beautiful thing when we decide to think about other people. So this just gives us an opportunity to party together for others, man. I want to see hunger, homelessness, poverty. I want to see all that stuff shrinking. I want to see diseases. I want to see cures coming. And humanity got the power to do it. Dude, we're putting the internet on Mars right now. Okay. Okay. So I think we can cure a few diseases here on Earth. Okay.
You think, right? I mean, there's got to be a way. There is, and it's when you can pull people together under one commonality and in a cause that it can make a big impact. And when people can just gather under something as simple as peace/love, no like definitions, because it's got to be whatever, fill in the blank with their this is not a militant cause, but we're militantly pursuing peace, right?
I like that, man. I like that.
We got to write that down.
That's good. Yeah.
But it's true. I mean, we're not here to be militant about that stuff. It's not what it is, but we will militantly pursue peace. So I think there's a big difference.
Absolutely.
Instead of somebody that just has to stand for their cause so they can make a point about something instead of just caring about other people, you know?
That's it, man. Oh my goodness. Sounds very simple. It sounds
simple. It sounds simple, but sometimes it takes a little bit of effort, which is what we're doing.
That's what we're doing, Matt. That's beautiful.
So
glad you said that.
The website is peacewalk.world. So it's just peacewalk.world. Pretty easy to go to because we want Peace Walk all around the world. So it's peacewalk.world.
Like that.
Pretty simple and easy. It'll be there forever and a day. There's our logos right there next to your head, Peace Walk. And we got the cool you gave me the Converse idea. Like I said, the whole Converse shoe going on in there, the peace symbol. Man. It says Peace Walk 2021 on the Converse label right there too, by the way.
That's nice, man.
We're that tight. It's pretty cool.
Beautiful,
it's
man.
Gonna be good.
We're able to do this right here from our house. Like I just want everyone to understand like how much power and how lucky we are to be alive right now. Because 1,000 years ago, like you just had to accept what it was and what it was gonna be, and hopefully you was in the right continent. Okay.
Yeah.
That's just
right
how
skin, the right skin, the right continent, everything.
Right skin, right. Yep, right. Now, man, we got the ability to connect with great people like Steve, Matt, just like boom, we're right here. All over the world, cut our ideas together and generate love and compassion and hope and action that works.
That works. That's it. Yeah. Well, before you jet, man, because I'm going to bring Steve on, but tell me a little bit about RPA before you go. You have an event, RPA. You've got a whole thing with your biz. Can you tell folks what that is right quick?
I'll tell you, and it's real quick, actually. Here's a fun fact. Yeah, everyone knows what a trend is. A trend is something that's impacting society, and it came out of nowhere, right? And it's impacting the masses. And trends come and they go. So we're at the beginning of the biggest trends ever in business technology, and it's called RPA. And basically, what it is business automation. And what it allows people to do is allows for anybody who's doing like repetitive, mundane activity, remove them from that, reallocate their time, helps companies become more efficient. Long story short, it allows companies to stay in business, people to stop doing robotic activity. Nobody needs to do robotic activity. It stresses you out. That's not what you were born for. You're better than that, okay? And you learn that you are once you get rid of that, and everyone starts to win. So what I would say is don't go out and buy software. Get educated. And that's what we're doing. RPA, robotic process automation, is a business language that mostly nobody knows, but in about 3 years, every business will have to, or they won't be in business. So start learning to speak it now, and you got your translator right here.
Yeah, you're right, brother. And since y'all brought that out there, you, Dimitri, and was it Wilt as well. Since then, I've seen a few other RPA things pop up around the internet. And I'm like, here it goes.
Yeah,
here it goes. And I've always been, I hate to say, I'll just admit it. I've always been a day late and a dollar short, brother. So for you, I'm excited in the sense that you already got your dollar in. I
got my dollar in. I got my dollar in, man.
You already got the name, the dollar. You're good.
Hey, look, and my goal is to help now. My goal is to help, man. The company's called Scale Through Automation, and that's what we're trying to help people do. No, it's not just about making lots of money. Well, that's a fun thing to do, but it's better when you see people winning, like just doing better, like thinking better, performing better, living better, man. Because that's what it's about.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you being here today, Rob.
Yeah, thank you for what you do, man. You just like you're like he said, be fishers of men. You came out with a couple nets. Like I got it.
I try my best, brother. We got to figure out ways. I'm learning what Jesus meant by when he said greater things, and I think people thought was like raising people from the dead and all this kind of, which is great. But he said greater things, and you think like there was no internet stuff like that back then, and he knows the age we're going to be in now, and I'm like,
stop, man.
I'm understanding what some of the greater things are now.
Please stop.
Bro.
I said this exact same thing. My wife was like, I said the exact same thing to her yesterday.
Oh no! It's about the. This is it. It's about
the
pop, brother. I'm telling you, that's 2 or 3 right there. So that's good stuff. We'll talk about that later. That's a good one.
Yeah, man. Let's Steve go in here, man.
Yeah, man. Great being here. Before Steve comes up, Elio, if you can pull up one of our great sponsors here on the show, which is encapsulator.io. We'll check that out, and then we'll have Steve right back on after that. Thanks for being here, Rob.
Thanks, brother.
Yeah, man. All right, encapsulator.io. That's my buddy Danny Shannon in Australia. An incredible, incredible man with an incredible platform he's created for folks that could have video time vaults. What's a time vault for a video? Glad you asked. Well, if you have something that you want to do, for example, maybe you have been through a very traumatic point in your life and you have made a decision that it's time to make a shift and a change. That day, you can come to your Encapsulator account and you can record that moment and what you want to do and say, I want to come back in 3 years from now, and this is the type of person I'd like to be. Do the video. It gets sealed in the time vault on Encapsulator, and 3 years later, you get a note that says, hey, time to come back to watch your video. You come back and see that thing and see what's happened. That's one way that can be used. It's also used in lots of different ways with businesses and organizations. It's got psychiatrists and psychologists that are now beginning to use it in part of their practices. It's a really cool tool, and you can check it out by going to encapsulator.io and sign up today. All right, I'm excited to have my friend Steve Kidd come on the show with us next. Steve, welcome to Matt Chat Live.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Steve Kidd is here. No kidding. No kidding. It's really him. So you've never heard that before, I'm sure. Well, Steve, it's great to have you here on the show. And you operate a company called Thriving Bestsellers, amongst all kinds of incredible things that you're able to do in your life. You've done one or two things, I guess, in the past few years, I'm sure, right? But today we're here to specifically talk about this thing called Thriving Bestsellers. And hey, I get emails all the time from companies that want me to be as seen on Fox News or NBC or this, that, and the other, and they want me to spend $5,000 or $10,000 for them to write an article about me or something like that. But that's really not what this is all about here. It's something completely different. So if you wouldn't mind, just kind of describe to us what happens with some of the authors you're able to meet and how you're able to help some authors.
Absolutely. I mean, we are a full-scale company that helps people write, publish, and market their books to bestseller. But really, ultimately, we're really a marketing company with a strong publishing division. What that means to you is, let's be honest, the publishing company doesn't have a clue how to market. Most of them, their high-end idea is we will introduce you to these people, these publicists, and they will try to get you booked on radio or TV. And if you get booked, you can travel around the country and talk about your book. Let's hope COVID doesn't hit is all I'm going to say about that, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, they really don't know how to market. Whereas, we're really thinking about what does it take to get to your next? Whatever your next is. Maybe it's a promotion at work. Maybe it is coaching, speaking, other things in your business. That's where we're really starting from. And you do have a reason to be here in the world. And we're here to help you share it with the world.
Oh, that's amazing. So you've been able to do, I see that you launch a podcast. You have a podcast that comes out weekly. And I just saw a story about a woman named Margaret, if I recall correctly. Right? Was that? I think it was Margaret.
Yeah.
Just did it with. Yep. And she was one of the authors you've worked with recently, I believe.
The book is called Finding Margaret. Her name is Marjorie Phillips. Yeah.
Marjorie Phillips. What was funny, I watched the podcast, and I don't know if this was funny to you or not, but it was funny to me. It was unintentional, probably. But at the beginning of the show, it goes live. Steve's talking. Margie's not there. She's over on the side of the camera. She walks around, comes in. And for me, I thought this was really like Finding Margie. And all of a sudden, she showed up to the camera. And you're like, there she is, ladies and gentlemen. We found Margie. It was amazing. So that's what I thought when I saw the first part of the show. But, anyway, she was a great lady.
Totally unintentional, but it really worked.
It worked. I was definitely Finding Margie right there. Oh, my Lord. So you've worked with, how many authors do you think you've worked with over the years?
Directly, I've worked with 500 or 600. There are more than 3,000 people that have used the system I created that I know of. It could be way bigger than that. I know of a couple of big organizations that use all the words that I was the one that came up with. So, but I don't know their numbers.
Yes, that's a really nice way of putting that, Steve. I appreciate that. Yeah, there's a lot of that goes on when people borrow our stuff for a long period of time, right? Oh man, so that's in this situation, even some of the things you're talking about, because there are a lot of things of people have been heard of that have actually stolen people's property. They've taken words from other people, used their articles or things of that nature to create their own stuff. Now, let's just get serious. A lot of people use other people's stuff all the time. But you can switch things around, change things up, make things more your own. I know that happens. But when people just directly go copy, paste, post, it's a whole nother story. And what you're talking about here has nothing to do with copy and paste. You actually help people from the jump. If somebody has just an idea for a book and they call you, but they have no idea where to start. They've got great ideas, but they don't know what to do. You're able to help somebody like that too, yes?
Oh, yeah. In fact, I even have helped some people who came to me and said, I think I want to write a book, but I have no idea what it would be like. So, we could start from even before the germ of an idea. We can help you out.
Yeah, you're like, I know exactly what you want to write. Yeah, that's okay. So that kind of process, I mean, I know it's really hard to say because everybody's a little bit different, and content is going to be important to understand. But on an overarching view, if somebody came to you, had a good idea, and they wanted to put some things together from nothing, what do you think the timeline would take for somebody to have something accomplished and for sale?
The system is actually designed to do it in 30 to 90 days.
30 to 90 days from idea to published.
From no idea to published, yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. And it's also an excuse buster. A lot of people say that it's going to take too long. I don't have enough time for all that kind of stuff. It's going to take at least, because when I was brought up in writing books, they're saying it's going to take you probably about a year to write the book. And I guess, well, it did take me a year to write my book in the first one, but I went through a different process than what I was doing on purpose. However, of course, I was battling cancer, the whole 9 yards, little things like that, But I can see now, I've written several books since then, how it's very possible if you're guided the right way and you come up with a type of solution that really helps you to accomplish what you want to do, and that's to get your heart out to other people. So that's one thing you do by writing, by helping other people write. I believe you do some other things to help people completely. If they just have the idea, they want to shoot for it. They give you everything they need to do, but they really don't feel like they're capable of doing everything else, or they say, I just don't have the time. So Steve, here's all my ideas. Here's what I'd like to do. And that's called, as everybody knows, it's called ghostwriting. But you don't look like a ghost. I can see you pretty good. Is that something you offer to people as well?
So I shy very much away from the term ghostwriting because a ghostwriter will take your information and then they write it in their voice. I want to help share you with the world, your voice, your words, your whoever you are right now. You'll be somebody different next year, 5 years from now. You can use Encapsulator. I liked that commercial. That was a cool product. You can use that and come back 5 years from now and be like, oh, now I got to write that, because look at all these things I came up with the last 5 years. But you do have something right now that needs to be shared with the world, and it needs to be in your words. And we have a whole system to be able to help you be who you are and share who you are with the world. And we do that via interview. That's how Sir Richard Branson writes all of his books. It's how the books, The Four Agreements, was written. Then the list goes on of all kinds of really popular books that were written via interview, because you and I can have a conversation, but you can't really have an intimate conversation with a million people. You're trying to talk to generic, and we want to help you really just share your heart with the world.
No, that's fantastic. I mean, I think that's what most people would want. Maybe some don't, but I would want somebody to relay my heart. Some folks just care about, I don't care. Just put something out there, put my name on it. I'm sorry, I can't do that for you. Now there's some other people, it's kind of a touchy subject. We kind of talked a little bit, and we don't have to go that deep, but there are some folks that think this kind of a business is kind of shady, that it's not exactly on the up and up. How can we prove that wrong here in a few minutes?
Well, I mean, there's so many things, and when you try to get into what is it that Proverbs says about arguing with a fool, to go all biblically on you.
That's right.
But the truth of the matter is, again, like I said, Sir Richard Branson, that's how he does all of his books. Lisa Nichols did her latest book that way. The Four Agreements was written that way. So when you're talking about doing your book via interview, that's number one. Secondly, I do absolutely focus completely on Amazon's bestseller list for a reason. Amazon is the only bestseller list that is statistically driven. And by that, I mean that if a book is at number 2 and a book is at number 3, the book at number 2, more people acquired actually physically have it than the person at number 3. And Google tracks that, or I'm sorry, Amazon tracks that via a unique email address. So I have an email address.
I thought that's what everybody did, like USA Today and New York Times. And
all of those are editorials. So they buy a list. Most people are going to buy the list from the Nielsen company, who does the TV ratings. And that is just purely a list of big box retailers' wholesale purchases. Doesn't mean that necessarily anybody bought a copy of the book, because all of those wholesale purchases are net 90 contracts. So they may have returned all of those books.
Wow.
With Amazon, during this time frame. Now, yeah, Amazon's bestseller list updates hourly. It's about 8 hours behind, but it updates hourly versus once a year or twice a year. So it's more up to date too. And it's more volatile. It changes more often. But that's the only legit list that I know of.
Wow. That's a big deal. So there is a difference when somebody's a bestseller on one particular platform versus another. And the reality behind the platform of Amazon is that they actually count each individual item that's been received by a customer as delivered to a customer. That is a sale. That is something that's gone to that person's hand versus something that's just been ordered in bulk by somebody else. And they ordered 500,000 copies of some sort of book. And it may be that they only physically sold 175,000 copies, but they bought 500,000 copies. And they go off of that number versus Amazon's number, which is legit numbers, as every time somebody clicks connect or purchase, right? Or whatever they say, buy now or something, right? That's a big deal. That's a big deal, a big thing to understand. And to have something that are effectively to understand where you're at scale-wise in your material to know what the public's wanting, what they don't want. If your book stays at number 300,723 or gets up to like 100 or 50 or 75 or 12, then there's something that shows, wow, people are really interested in this. And it's like real, like people actually have that book, which is really, really an amazing thing to think about. Well, Steve, you do a lot of work for a lot of different people. And, of course, thing I'm glad about is you and I are both followers of Christ. So is Rob just a little bit ago. He came on here, and this is a big week. It's called Easter week. Now, some folks, Easter's a name. It's actually Passover and Resurrection Day is coming up shortly. Easter was actually a pagan terminology that's adapted and used as a holiday. But before we get any deeper into that, it is a week where we recognize what's happened through our faith, and a big celebration time where Jesus was, unfortunately, he was killed, but fortunately for us, he was willingly, and he was raised from the dead like he said he would be, and was resurrected on the third day. And that's what our faith is all about in Christianity. It wasn't necessarily he was born, which is great. That's what Christmas is all about. But anybody can be born, but nobody can just be resurrected and come back to life like he did. So that was quite an amazing thing that he's done for us, and that's what we're celebrating this week. So happy Easter Resurrection Day and week to you, my friend. And I'm blessed. Yeah, I hope you don't go on too many Easter egg hunts. I'm going to try to keep that number down myself, because the kids get mad when I run out to various churches and run out there and take all their eggs and take off with them before they get a chance to get them. But,
Yeah. Well, all my kids are grown, and all the grandkids are far enough away that I don't think my little dog's going to want to go on an Easter egg hunt. Her idea of an Easter egg hunt is, I will jump in your chair and you will hand me an egg. That'd be about as far as she's going to hunt.
That's how the hunt she's got. That dog don't hunt. Well, Steve, again, now your website is thrivingbestsellers.com, yes? So if we got the little graphic, we can throw it up there again. You just add a .com to it and you'll know what it is. But thrivingbestsellers.com. And that gives you all the information that you'll need to get connected with you and really begin that process of going from somebody who's written a book to somebody who has a thriving book online or even in stores, and are able to move to maybe a bestseller at one point in their life. But you actually say, not maybe, you will.
Mm-hmm. I guarantee
That's
it.
awesome. Yeah, that's an amazing guarantee. So, folks, do you want to reach out to Steve if you're a writer, an author of any sorts? If you have a lot of things you've been putting together, and you've been thinking, I really want to write this book. I really want to put this together. I don't know of a better man than Steve Kidd to talk to. What I love about him is he's for real when he talks about wanting to know your heart and be able to put that together. To have somebody like that on your team is not that common in the industry. So to have somebody that would be willing to do that and stick their name on top of that as well, it's a big deal. So again, thrivingbestsellers.com. Steve, thanks so much for being here on Matt Chat Live with me today.
Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and you're on Facebook. You do a lot of stuff live on Facebook, and you're starting to put some more material on LinkedIn lately that I'm aware of. I think you're putting it on LinkedIn, aren't you? Yes.
Yes.
So he's popping some stuff on LinkedIn. So if you're watching on LinkedIn today, you'll be able to find Steve Kidd there as well. It's Kidd with 2 Ds. And of course, if you're on Facebook, you can find it there pretty easily as well. Now on Facebook, do you go by Steve Kidd, or is it under Thriving Bestsellers when you do your stuff?
Well, I have both. My personal account is Steve Kidd, and I have the page Thriving Bestseller. So,
okay, so it's all easy to find. By the time you find you, they can find that. Okay, that's fantastic. So reach out to them, get that book done. There is no excuse. 30 to 90 days, you could be a bestseller. I mean, come on. That's amazing. That's a good deal. I wish I met him a long time ago. I'd probably have 10 bestsellers on the line by now. It'd be fantastic. But thanks for your heart again, Steve. I appreciate you, and welcome for being on the show here again today. Appreciate you.
Thanks, man.
Thanks. All right, Elio, that wraps up another Matt Chat Live. Here we are today. It's we're ending early. Why am I ending early today? My daughter turned 17 years old today. Today is her birthday. Today's her birthday, so she wants to go out to eat, and we're going to take her out to eat here shortly, and I can't wait to spend some time with my family and be with them. So I'm ending a little bit early today so I can do that. Normally, right after the show at 7 p.m. Eastern is Let's Get Naked on Clubhouse. Still is. I'm just not going to be there. So I've got co-hosts that are going to take over the ship for me, and they will be leading you well on Let's Get Naked. So if you want to go to Clubhouse tonight, 7 p.m., and get naked, head on over there and do it. 7 o'clock, right? If you've got deals with fear, doubt, anxiety, if you have imposter syndrome situations, if you're not really sure about what's going on in your life and how you're measuring up with other people, or you're measuring yourself with other people, or you're in competition with other people, or you're feeling away from other folks, or whatever the case may be, in that type of a scenario when you're in social media world, it can be tough, and you're not alone. There's a lot of people who have been through some things that may be helpful for you to hear, and there might be a space for you to share something on your heart that you've been wanting to say, but you've just been afraid to. Well, you don't have to be afraid anymore. Come on over to Let's Get Naked, 7 o'clock, Wednesday nights Eastern on Clubhouse. That's 4 p.m. Pacific, and that would be 11 a.m. in Australia. All right, so that's 7, 4, and 11. So we're actually so good. We are in the future in Australia when we do the show. That's right. We're teleported to Thursdays at 11 a.m., but at 7 p.m. Eastern. All right, that's it for me today. Another show here done. Thanks so much for being on another episode of Matt Chat Live. We will see you the next time. Same Matt time, same Matt channel, right here at Matt Chat Live. Have a great week, y'all. Happy Easter.